Askelson, and this week we're going to finally plant our plants into the ground. So we are going to be planting ours in our raised bed that we made, and I am so excited to show you guys the planting process. But before we do that, we're going to do something called thinning. The reason why we do thinning is when we planted our starting tray, I put 2 seeds in every little pod, and sometimes both of them will actually germinate and sprout up. Now this is great to get 2 plants, but after a while they're going to start competing with one another. You're going to do a process which is called thinning, where you cull one of the sprouts. Now how we do this is really based upon the information that's on the packet. There's also a few other ways that we can do this as well. You should pull out excess seedlings once they have grown 2 true leaves. These aren't the first leaves that appear. These are called seed leaves. True leaves are shaped differently than the seed leaves. You're going to need to read your seed packet for recommendations of spacing of vegetables and seedlings to determine which seedlings to remove. You can pull out the excess seedlings carefully, but this method can disturb the roots of the remaining seedlings. Instead, what's a little bit better is to use some scissors to snip off the excess seedlings. Now that we've done our plants, let's get to planting. Before we start, let's refer back to the packages that we used to plant our seedlings in the first place. This way we know if there's any spacing issues that we need to take care of, and just making sure that we're planting our garden to the best of our ability. From the backs, it looks like we have to leave 2 to 3 feet of space between our bean plant rows. Our packets don't say anything for corn or squash, but I'm going to leave about a foot between their rows. We're going to group the same plants together just so that we know what plants are what. And it's pretty easy. All you have to do is dig a hole, put your pod down into it, cover it with soil, give it spritz of water, and you're good to go.
One thing that I highly recommend is to wear clothes that you don't mind getting dirty, and to possibly wear gloves. The soil is soft enough to where I could just use my hands to put the plants in, but sometimes you'll need a little trowel to do that. Garden's complete. So we have our squash in the first row, and then we have our corn, and we have beans in our last row. Hopefully we'll get a good harvest this year.
All right, everyone, thank you for joining us on this week's Gardening Through the Week. We hope you have a fantastic week, and we will see you next time. Bye.